unfinished business.
Two words. Disappointment. But there's room for improvement, and that's it, man. That's it.
Well, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Signing off.
Signing off, James Daniel, starting captain, striker.
Yeah, and send hate to Alex Beckers and Lucas Maraha.
Good evening, wherever you're watching in Victoria, across the nation, or indeed around the world. Welcome to a rather wet, rather wild, rather up and down, very Melburnian 4 seasons in one day kind of Sunday. And Series Futsal Women's is the one to round out the show. It's been a dramatic afternoon, and Fitzroy are off to a fast start against Heidelberg. Frascalzo nearly slid through them all to steer in an opener. My name's Ethan Rigg, and I'm joined on commentary by Tyler Lewis. Good evening, Tyler.
Hey mate, your weekly game.
Weekly game.
I had the bye this week, so you're lucky I'm here. I nearly stayed home.
Well, Phoenix not in action. Aku and Easton 1-0, the other of our 2 fixtures. McClure charging forward, and Frascalzo again. 2 slides inside the opening minute. Neither.
Yeah, Jimmy's going to need to get her an extra pair of socks in the next couple of minutes because she's going to keep sliding until she breaks them. Tears a nice hole of those ones probably once every 3 weeks. Dino Frascalzo. No Claudia tonight either for Fitzroy.
Frascalzo in again ahead of Bennett for Tinos. Tried to find Tanaka. Sabre spun sharply. Abdul Latif was lurking, and it was cleared away to Allen, who went through the legs of Diana Frascalzo, but Bennett hadn't advanced far forward.
Yeah, just slightly behind Abdul Latif there. Really, really good play. Fitzroy looked very dangerous in the opening minutes. Heidelberg have to come up with something to answer as they play Sabre down at target, blocked out there by Tanaka. Tanaka's going to look to take away. Beats one, but falls to Frascalzo. Frascalzo rolls it gently into the back of the net, past Paige Daly.
Third time the charm for Diana Frascalzo, who had 2 looks already. The first 2 she had to stretch for. That one a much more simple finish, and tidily tucked into the bottom corner Let's put aside who are gunning their way in the title race. In front early. Allen wants to drive it for Frascalzo now. Can Heidelberg find a quick reply? She wasn't able to work it for Fatinos on the switch. The ideal start for Jimmy Soufis' side. Ones who were victorious last week as well. So he's just starting to rebuild that unbeaten streak after being defeated by Melbourne Aku. Come against the Heidelberg side who hadn't featured in a while, did last week. And it was one that they would like to forget in the end. Perhaps still some rust being shaken off. And looking to regain some of the momentum they had done at the start of the season. Here's Sydney Allen. Again, wanted to find Fatinos. Abdul Latif went before she had it. And thankfully for her, it rolled back to the keeper. There went on for Abdul Latif. Frascalzo, tidy 1-2. Abdul Latif wants to charge at Bennett. Already got beyond Fatinos. And the ball was a bit too far behind McClure. Very up and down start for Fitzroy, who are wanting to take the game to Heidelberg. They look razor sharp in the first 2 minutes, and since then, just a couple of loose passes, one which Sydney Allen picked off and forced a good save.
Lizzie goes down well there to her right. Wouldn't have seen it very well, so got down rather quickly for a blindsided shot.
In fact, it hit the base of the post.
I thought she saved it.
Yeah, went searching for Sabre. He wanted to get away from Tanaka, dropped it off for Abdul Latif, who worked a yard inside. It was hit with pace for Frascalzo, who had just got the other side of Allen, got goal side of Allen, but wasn't able to add her second. Stays on the high press. Daly this time looked longer. Bennett not beyond Abdul Latif. Tanaka wanted to take over, and it trickles in to the arms of Lizaire, who rolled on for Abdul Latif. McClure. Fitzroy still shifting Heidelberg around, searching for an opening that would give them a second goal. Abdul Latif, that's a delightful ball down the line. McClure. And back for Layla Abdul Latif. Sabre couldn't find McClure on the switch, who wasn't quite alert to it. We mentioned only 2 games for Heidelberg United in the last month. That was certainly on display, more than they would have liked it to have been against Melbourne Aku last time. Beaten rather comfortably by the reigning champions. Air looks to go long. Already a goal down in this game too. Chasing from the off. Against the side who, up until this point, have been nearly perfect. Sabre spinning and nobody made the back post run. Chincotta did well not to get a foot on it. They're up against not only the league's most potent attack, but its best defence. No one scored more and conceded fewer than Fitzroy this season. They have been in truly imperious touch. Only one defeat, and they still have an opportunity to make up ground on that front. As Frascalzo wins another corner. Heidelberg started hot, looked like they might be one of the early title contenders. 3 straight wins to start the campaign. A start which has since faltered into more of a false dawn. And they sit closer to the bottom of the table now. 5 points away from Phoenix, who won't play tonight, so that gap won't shrink. But they could drop below 1-0. However, Allen is around there, and it's a brilliant block from Sabre on the slide, who went round the other way and made a vital intervention to preserve the lead. Terrific judgment on it as well. Very easy when you slide like that to steer it into your own net. Allen again wants to charge at Sabre and again wins a corner. This time in slightly less dramatic circumstances. Taken quickly. Wanted Chincotta. Frascalzo nodded it away. Heidelberg having a good spell. Tanaka. And then we'll do it all over again. Lizaire forced into the save. 3 successive Heidelberg corners. All from that side. Allen's take. Frescalzo reads this one. McClure was charging. Abdul Latif arriving as well. It's Layla Abdul Latif. And it's a good save from Daly with her feet on the readjustment. Poked at her near post. She'd already gambled on Abdul Latif going across. Move which didn't transpire. McClure kept the move alive. And it clipped off Chincotta and off the post and out for a corner. Close take. Frescalzo. Abdul Latif. Sabre was on the far side. Frescalzo. McClure whipped it across with too much pace. But Heidelberg, having gone a goal behind early, having conceded early, are just starting to get a good rhythm into this game. For Tinos, Tanaka. Hustled by Frescalzo. For Tinos, lovely switch for Chincotta, who left it behind her when she went to go and roll forward. Tanaka cut out Frescalzo's ball. Chincotta left it for Allen, for Tinos. Now Chincotta was all on her own momentarily. The door got shut just as Fatinos was looking to fire it her way. Tanaka found Allen cleverly beyond Galuccio. Allen wanting again to go around Sabre. Spun inside, but wasn't able to direct the shot into a dangerous area. Both of these sides now trading looks at one another. Galuccio tried to clip it for McClure, and Fatinos got a header away. Couple of changes being prepped. Heasley and Steph Galea. As a deflection finds its way in. Ever so unfortunate for Fatinos, but Frescalzo's ball was hit with enough fizz that she couldn't readjust in time and turned in the goal that doubles Fitzroy's lead. Ever so unlucky for Heidelberg, who had just started to build some momentum into this game. A real stroke of misfortune. And they're now 2 down. Desperately unlucky. And Fitzroy, who just had to weather a bit of a storm, perhaps now wanting to search for a way to surge out of sight. Frescalzo, who's been at the heart of everything good they've done so far. Heasley, that's a tidy return. Frescalzo's touch. Allen.
Chased it down, put Frescalzo under enough pressure where she had to, where she rolled that one out accidentally, trying to keep control of it. So Allen providing pressure as always.
Worth noting, it is a bit warm in this building this evening. When the sun comes out,
yeah, it's very muggy.
It is a muggy, muggy Sunday afternoon. It's been hot and cold all day. Hasn't exactly known what it's wanted to do with itself, but this is Melbourne after all, and it is spring in this city. Here's Frescalzo, who is spinning and twisting and turning superbly. And just poked her effort wide, but she is having a fabulous start to this game and is a real thorn in Heidelberg's side.
Yeah, very, very well, good use of body there by Frisky. So does well there to put Heidelberg under enough pressure. Unlucky for the shot to go wayward, but Galea on the ball now. Cuts round one, looks to give it to a cutting pass, and unfortunately for her, that's blocked out by Heidelberg.
Another Fitzroy corner. Galea's first looks of the evening. Frescalzo just drifting far post. Went out to Galuccio instead, who wanted to clip it for Heasley, who had gone round the back. Nobody went with her. But the ball was a fraction too heavy for her to get onto. Galea again wants to charge. Dropped it off for Frescalzo. Galuccio. Fitzroy are really, really hitting a good gear at the moment. Galuccio once again. Tried to clip it beyond Chincotta. And Mibe Tanaka just had to be sure. Made a rampant start to this game of the Tigers. Been unrelenting. Galuccio wins another corner. Yet another in a long, long string of Fitzroy set-piece opportunities. Heasley was never to find Frascalzo. Allen got herself in the way. Again, just turning the screw. Frascalzo spun away from Chincotta terrifically. Frascalzo charging. Tanaka came across the block. Heidelberg are feeling the Fitzroy pressure. Really not allowed out by a rampant side at the moment. Frascalzo out for Heasley and deflected onto Allen, who's got Langley up with her. Allen wanted to roll it, and Frascalzo this time at the other end, having scored one, prevents one.
She's in for an MVP type season, Dino Frascalzo. She's been very, very good this season. And displays going backwards and forwards. She's always in the right spots and does the right thing.
It's a brilliant block. Right on the line. The second of the evening so far for Fitzroy.
But I can't think of anyone else who probably deserves MVP this season at the moment. She's been this has been her breakout season. Like, she's always been a good player, but this season she stood up.
Certainly having a standout campaign.
His sister hasn't been around as much either, so like she's had to be the main focal point of Fitzroy. She's done it. They've played very well.
Tonight is anything like the sample size, which it has been so far. Certainly not a far-fetched shout to make. She would be in the conversation.
I think she'd have to be. Look, they're always going to be your... You got Clarissa Orton's had a very good season for Aku. Aku themselves have had lots of players play well this season. However, for Fitzroy, she has just been a class above, and she's been a leader of the team and done really well. So there would have been a shout earlier in the season for Sydney Allen when she played the first few games. Obviously had a bit of a break through injury. But Emily Tanaka's another one that's very much impressed, but just hasn't been around enough.
Langley fouled Galuccio. Quite inadvertently. Air went from range, and Daly just had to be short and was able to catch it well.
Who herself would probably make a shout for Golden Glove this season. I think she's done extremely well under the conditions she's played in.
It's hard to disagree. He's had a fabulous season.
We are getting to award season time. There's only a few rounds left of this season for the women's.
We are certainly. The season is coming to its conclusion.
So there's 2 more weeks left after this.
A lot quicker than we'd like it to be as well.
Well, there will be, I believe there will be a cup at the end of the season to finish off the season. Good return of the good old Foz Cup, which we haven't seen. We didn't see last season.
Tanaka gave it to Allen, who had a look.
And threw the doorway for 6. It's a good hit. Well hit. Sorry for those listening. Ethan and I played cricket yesterday, and we both didn't hit 6s. So we like to live our dreams through futsal.
Kalea gave it away to Bennett. Langley did well to ward off Vonya, but not well enough to ward off Galuccio. Tanaka took over once more. Kalea, Langley, got in just ahead of her. Was able to pick it up. It was well-judged goalkeeping. Just to win out in that situation as well. Heasley for Galuccio. Just waiting on her options. Galea darting. Galuccio wanted to find her, but only found Tanaka, who can charge the other way. Bennett one way. Tanaka went alone and dragged her shot at the final moment. In fact, it took a touch and will be a corner.
Yeah, Galuccio forced that pass. Didn't need to. Had plenty of time, but tries to pick out the unreal pass there, and fortunately for Heidelberg, falls to Tanaka, who unfortunately for her blazes away and the shot goes wide.
Here's Galuccio again. Simply on for Heasley this time.
But 2-0 up at the moment. I don't blame Fitzroy for trying the unreal.
Galea. Touch nearly invited me by Tanaka. Galuccio. Vonya. Back for Galuccio once more. Heasley. It's the find a way through Langley. Went through the legs. Tanaka got a foot in. And Galuccio protesting that the final touch was off Emily Tanaka. on which the official doesn't quite agree with. Galea got a touch on it. Langley protected the space, and Steph Galea's retreat was simply superb. It's a fantastic second read. Just to get across and get a challenge in. Been very good in the games she's played this season, Steph Galea. Obviously well respected, well known in this community. Player of immense, absolutely immense pedigree and quality. And has been able to showcase that when she's featured in Fitzroy colours. Whose clearance didn't quite make it out, but they're made up for it with a fabulous save off Bennett. Pushed it over for a corner. Jana Bennett caught that sweep. It required a good intervention. Really Tanaka's take. Mibe Tanaka couldn't flick it on. Heasley could charge the other way. Bennett got a foot in. Tanaka couldn't re-find Bennett. Galea picked it off. Tanaka wins out. Gets a yard for herself. Went lofting for Langley, but lofted it into touch. It was just a fraction too heavy, the ball. In order to find the number 10 who was surging. Heidelberg have just had patches. Fitzroy have really taken the sting out of this game. The last couple minutes or so, it's very well managed. Galea wanted to spin Tanaka. She's been looking for that kind of turn for the last couple of minutes. Galuccio, who picked off Daly's clearance. And Langley got a touch on it. They go all the way home for air. Who went lofting long, and Daly had to be short. Fancies a go at returning serve, and that one will see its way into touch.
Yeah, a bit of a fault service there. No Scott Rogan on the bench tonight for Fitzroy. Jimmy Swift by himself.
Perhaps just a slightly undermanned coaching.
Mate, I gave you a layup there. You wonder why he's not here? Isn't he going for getting ready for some tour overseas? I gave you a layup.
Absolutely is. Scott Rogan getting ready for international duty. One again of a plethora of series futsal stars who feature
Arte Ibrahim, Aaron Yu, Scott Rogan. So Arte's first caps will be his first cap, hopefully overseas. No Corey Sewell this time.
no Adam Cooper this time.
No Adam Cooper or no Cozzy. Cozzy missed out as well this time.
But still, a trio of series futsal stars. Aaron, you got good minutes in between the sticks. They will go to represent their country. It's Galea, touched by Tanaka. Galea battling her way through. Rolled it all the way back out for McClure, who took over confidently and struck. And crashed it into the side netting. It's the first real shot in anger they've had for quite some time. So we've had to absorb a little bit. Heidelberg have looked to fly forward. Haven't been able to make many inroads. It's in part to Steph Galea, who nods that into touch. Provide a very energetic presence. Mibe Tanaka, Bennett. Again, Galea goes to her and wins it this time.
Wouldn't mind seeing Heidelberg step up a little bit here. This is not Fitzroy's strongest targets. So
Tanaka took a tumble. The Sabre wanted to go forward. Took it all the way back to Daly. On for Bennett. Get away from Sabre. Bennett wanted to be daring. Sabre went and won it back. Galea. Didn't have an option until McClure gave her one. Tiptoed around Tanaka terrifically, only for the other to come and steal it. Fatinos on for Emily Tanaka. Cross took a deflection, and McDougall can charge the other way. Fatinos got a stop on it. Bennett one way, Tanaka the other. McClure positioned herself perfectly to make the challenge and to win it back. Galea. And he got it from air. McClure. Couldn't clip it down the line for Sabre. Galea takes a minute. Abdul Latif comes back on. Bench full of talent. Both have the full ensemble available tonight. Sabre. Got ahead of Tanaka. Fatinos got a foot on it. Abdul Latif then took over. Tried to shift their way round and did superbly to find Sabre, who wasn't able to keep it in.
Yeah, just overrun that one herself. Instead of coming back on her left foot, decided she wanted to try and take it on her right.
Heidelberg still unable to really, really trouble this Fitzroy side since they went 2 down. Sabre spun away from Tanaka. Had to ward her off. Abdul Latif couldn't clip it beyond Allen.
Try to go with the outside of her foot. Didn't want to put that one on her left.
Fitzroy side ball. Perhaps an opportunity to add a third and to really begin to rip this away from Heidelberg. McClure. Sabre, whose turn was almost terrific, worked the space ever so well. Just drew Tanaka goal side and it opened up a pocket for her to spin into. It just wasn't able to find the footing to do so. But it was almost brilliant hold-up play. Sabre goes for that spin again. This time drops it off for Abdul Latif. McDougall probing. Bennett picked her pocket. Allen was the only option forward. McClure got a foot in, as did Fatinos. McClure twisting and turning her way through yellow. And was able to keep it. So Latif went down the line. Sabre. Lost that to Fatinos, who threaded it through Abdul Latif. We could only thread it into touch. Chincotta perhaps getting ready. Fitzroy bench firmly sat. A little bit of a lulled period for the game. Abdul Latif only clipped it to Allen, who had 2 runners. One was Bennett. That's a smashing ball to find the other in Fatinos, but McDougall was alert to it and made a good challenge.
You kind of expect the lull, though, because Fitzroy being up 2-0. Heidelberg really haven't looked dangerous going forward as of yet, apart from 1 or 2 chances that they've kind of dragged their shots anyway. So Fitzroy can just sit, relax, look to play the ball a little bit more. They don't have to force things like they do when they're behind or the game's even. As that ball goes over the top and Sabre nearly gets a head on it. And Daly left flat-footed. Any little touch there probably would have put it into the back of the net.
It's an absolute beauty of a ball from McClure to find her as well.
Sabre just overrun it slightly. She wasn't far away from it at all.
McClure with a good read on Allen.
As Fitzroy, they're happy to let Aku go long. I'm sorry, let Heidelberg go long. And every time they have played short, they've stepped on them straight away.
And it has been that press as well, which has forced Daly to go long, and it's a lower percentage way of getting out. McClure dropped it off for McDougall. Chincotta went on the press, but it is in that when you suffocate one way, you sort of force a team into a plan, even if it is plan A. You want to be versatile. And Fitzroy haven't really allowed them to do that so far.
What would be good from Heidelberg here, and they did it last time they played Fitzroy. Obviously, I've got Aku on the brain for some reason. Obviously, they've got some big match coming up for themselves, 1-0. Been in good form.
McDougall picks Allen's pocket. Daly made the save, and Hewitt came across.
1-0 have been in good form, so we're very much looking forward to the next game. But Fitzroy haven't always been the best tracking team when it comes to balls from the goalkeeper. So maybe if Heidelberg can get a couple of runners going right now from Daly's throws, they might find themselves in an outnumber from Fitzroy. But everything's a bit of a scramble at the moment for Heidelberg. A little bit unsure of what to do.
Abdul Latif off from McDougall, and Fitzroy certainly taken advantage of that uncertainty so far. It's a much more poised performance from the Tigers. That's a good read from Cincotta, who's got Allen up with her. Cincotta went alone, and Air made a fabulous save while coming out to close the angle. Heidelberg have a corner. Very tidy stop. First real opportunity they've created for quite some time. Alan Stake, Friscalzo nodded it. Abdul Latif got ahead of Cincotta. Hewitt had time to reset and then nearly spun herself into trouble, and Sabre picked it up. And Daly made a fabulous save down low to her right.
Didn't know much about that one. That was pure reaction save there from Daly, and that's why she would be up there in the Golden Glove talk for this season.
Friscalzo, Abdul Latif. That's a lot of Sabre, and Allen won in ahead of her. McClure then came across to shut the door. Allen didn't give up on it. Made sure not to foul her. Hewitt tried to fizz it on. Abdul Latif now has got room to go with options either side. Cincotta came to make the block. Allen with only one lone runner. Sabre took the sting out of it. Fatinos' flick was fabulous. And the save from Air was elastic.
Not to be outmatched, Liz Air makes her presence known by that save. Fantastic diving down to her left.
A terrific touch. And just to set up the shot as well. Allen's corner. Sabre smashed it off Hewitt and tested the touch of the commentary team.
It was poor. Look where it rolled to.
Abdul Latif went with the outside of the boot down the line.
Nearly span into Sabre. Just futsal balls are not designed to move like they do in outdoor. There's not as much curve on a futsal ball because of the weight of the ball. Scouser in the middle.
It's found by Abdul Latif. Cincotta with a good read for Tinos. Allen made it work. Hewitt now had room to drive into. Abdul Latif shut the door on her. Hewitt didn't give up on it. Allen around Coluccio. Cincotta, lovely 1-2. And the effort from Allen turned wide at the back post, but it was incisive from Heidelberg for the first time, really.
That was their best chance of the half. They've been very, very good as that hits the wire running across the court. But I will want to say, for that previous chance, Lulia Hewitt, very, very well done. Lost the ball twice, won the ball back twice, and set up the opportunity because of her defensive efforts.
So easy when you do as well. Lose it the first time, win it back, lose it the second time, to think the opportunity's gone. Terrific to keep the pressure on, and it nearly paid dividends as well.
Players like that are invaluable because they do the hard yards. They're doing everything they can for your team. They don't give up on the play.
Sabre, Coluccio, that's a brilliant save from Daly, who might have a bit more to do. Friscalzo couldn't spin Cincotta.
I swear Paige saw that late, just the way she reacted to the ball. It must have been a late vision of the ball.
Might not have caught it. Rolled it for Allen. Heidelberg wants to play out short. Sydney Allen dropped in this time. Wants to get around Coluccio. Allen twisting and shifting. Still going was Allen, and it still stayed alive for her. Hewitt got round the back, but Air escorted it out of play.
Galuch did well there. She kept in front of the ball at all times, or in front of Allen at all times. I thought she got round her once, and there Danielle Galuccio was again.
Friscalzo tries to spin away beyond Hewitt and then lost it. Galea took over. Dropped it back for Galuccio. Smashed it into Allen. Friscalzo recycled it. Fitzroy keep the move rolling.
Galea's this side if she wants her, but she goes back to Air. Plays Steph. Galea looks to switch the ball. Fitzroy happy to just keep the ball at the moment, and they'll look to drive forward when they have a running number, which is right now. Is that 1-2 ball from Sabre to Galea, just goes wide as she drags the shot. And Daly will have keeper's clearance.
Brilliant futsal.
Great
Terrific patience on the move as well, just to wait for the opening. And when it did come, to nearly find a way through with incision and precision from Fitzroy.
We find it a lot with the women's game where they rush through a lot of things, right? When they don't have to, they can relax a little bit and then they can take their time and it puts them more under pressure. We see it in the men's game a lot too, especially with the lower tier sides. Everything has to be quick. Everything's meant to be done with pace. Not always. When you get to the very good teams of our competition, your Fitzroys, your Morelands, your Fitzroys and your Women's, your Akkus, they're happy to control the game and let it flow. They don't.
Tanaka loses out to Sabre.
They don't.
Steered away over.
Yeah, they don't have to rush until it's there for them to be able to go quickly.
Again, Heidelberg unable to play out. Sabre took over. Back for Galea. Went searching for Frascalzo. It's the right idea, but it was just a fraction too heavy, the pass, for her to be able to make it. They're just starting where they went quite narrow beforehand, Fitzroy, to stretch this Heidelberg side. Full width of the court being utilised. And in particular from Frascalzo and Galea, who have wanted to go down the flanks. Heasley comes back on for Sabre. Tanaka, clearance rattled off Frascalzo. We'll have another go. This time clipped down the channel. Heasley the one to come across. Costa Diamantopoulos perhaps not too happy with the way this first half is panning out. Tanaka on for Chincotta. Tried to go down the line. Heasley again in the way. Jimmy Soufis doesn't want a shot from this position. Tanaka tries to make it on for Fatinos. Mibe Tanaka then took over. Wants to go at Galuccio, who stood up well. Galea closed it and Emily Tanaka stole in and nearly made something out of nothing. It was a devilish ball across. Tanaka got a poke on it, but wasn't able to place it beyond Elizabeth Eyre, who would have been very short-sighted. It's a good read from Mibe Tanaka on Frascalzo. Heasley has forced her to retreat. Went with loft for Fatinos. Galea got up. Had it drop for Heasley, who's happy to clear her lines. Just under 2.5 to the break. Half which Fitzroy have controlled incredibly coolly so far.
Heidelberg have only had the one opportunity, real opportunity, that went wayward.
It's a tidy ball from Tanaka over the top. Chincotta, just while spinning, had it ricochet off her. And as a result, ricochet out of play. It's just little moments of misfortune like that, which, in a way, have kind of been the microcosm of Heidelberg's half. Frascalzo looks to spin around Tanaka, got a slide in, nearly broke for Heasley. Daly got a leg out. Emily Tanaka cleared it all the way away. And let it trickle out.
Smart, she had no options back. It was better for her to let the side ball go, and then they can control it going forward again. Tanaka looks to press her. Finds Galea in the middle, just for Scalzo. Galea's pass cut out there, so it will be a Fitzroy side ball. I'm waiting for Jimmy to give a timeout. It's coming soon.
We're in the final 2 minutes,
Yeah.
a kind of territory where
it depends what he thought of on the way here. Was it a corner, a side ball, or a free kick?
could be any of the three. He's got a hat trick of set piece plays in the playbook, does Jimmy Soufis. It's a good read from Langley, who then lost out to Frascalzo, who's got Galea up with her. Frascalzo went the long way round, which invited Daly to shut the door. Rolled it on for Tanaka. Langley had charged. Fatinos was surrounded by Tigers, all waiting to pounce. Frascalzo. Heasley. Down the line for Galea, who's happy to calm things right down. Frascalzo and Steph Galea is in some discomfort here.
Calf.
That is not what you want. Hope it isn't anything serious. We hope it's...
I mean, someone has done a couple of them. It is It is not nice. It'll probably end the season, depending on how bad it is and the way she's moving. Probably not going to be unlikely to play another game this season. But I've been proven wrong before.
Keep an eye on Steph Galea, just as she tends to herself for a bit. We hope she's okay. We hope it isn't anything serious, but with the way that she's taking her boots off,
She's done for the day, mate.
her evening's done. So
And when you've done a calf before, and I did kind of hear her say, I've done it a few times, I know, you know, and it's just, you're not going to be able to contribute. Just take yourself away from it.
rather sour note. There's a footnote to the first half.
I do say the calf is the old person's injury. I've done it twice. Here's the timeout.
We thought it might be coming. Had to wait some time, in fact, into the final minute. But Jimmy Soufas does issue timeout, and Fitzroy go into it in a position of real power. For timeout in Darebin for the first time tonight. It's Fitzroy 2, Heidelberg 0. We return from timeout for the first time tonight. Final minute before half-time. Fitzroy have dominated the entirety of the first period and were wanting a sweet send-off for it, but Sabre couldn't quite strike it sweetly.
Oh man, I was first private investigator right there. She says she thinks she's only strained it, so let's hope it's not a. Let's hope it is a strain. She only misses a couple instead of missing 4 or 5.
Tyler Lewis, the medic, down on the touchline.
Just the sympathiser in that one, mate.
Sympathiser. We appreciate that kind of update. We hope it is just a strain and it isn't anything serious. For someone of Steph Galea's talents, especially.
She's married soon as well. She's getting married soon as well, so.
Hopefully she's okay for the wedding, more importantly.
I think she'll be fine, but I don't know if she'll want to play right before the wedding anymore. Trying to hobble down with a torn calf. I can imagine it though. I could see Steph walking down in the moonbird or anything. Like, she's just courageous as they come.
Certainly won't be the case as Galuccio fakes Svetinos and rounds out a first half where Fitzroy were absolutely fantastic. 2 up quite early and controlled the tempo from there. Half time in Darebin. It's Fitzroy 2, Heidelberg 0.
We're the Champ Hunters Div 1 Tuesdays. We should not be in Div 1, but nevertheless, we lost 8-3 today, but we're missing Alex Beckers.
Scales are for Scales. rolls it gently into the back of the net, past Page Daly.
So tonight's a gap won't shrink. We could drop below 1-0. That Allen is around there, and it's a brilliant block from Sabre on the slide. Changes being prepped. Easily Steph Galea.
As a deflection.
Finds its way in. Ever so unfortunate for Fatinos, but for Scouser, with only one lone runner. Sabre took the sting out of it. Fatinos!
Send him hate. If you know who he is, please send him hate, and that's it.
Well, that's exactly right, James. Going on with that. Our gaffer, we've had a gaffer, for the whole team, and then he hasn't rocked up. Last 2 weeks, Lucas Smarra, you know who you are. You better sleep with one eye open tonight because we're coming for you, mate. You better sleep with one eye open, Lucas Smarra. You know who you are.
I brought the boys over, and we're all former NPL players. If State League want to sign us, we thought we'd take our talents to futsalers, and
Well, that's exactly right.
it's absolutely fantastic. And the place is an institution, so we thought we might as well. And that's that.
That's exactly right, James. That's it. It's not hard, it's just that we're struggling to find our feet. I think the lack of fitness is really affecting our team. Joining halfway through the season wasn't most ideal, but you know what? We've come across a couple wins, and we're doing decent within the team. There's a lot of politics within the team and problems here and there. And when you got families paying 7, 8, 9 grand, it's not on. But yeah, well, that's exactly right.
Well, for Social League Div 1, we thought this would be all right, but it's a much higher standard than we thought, and we're not quite equipped for it, but we're working on that.
Yeah, we definitely are.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're improving the arsenal, and we'll get there. We'll get there day by day. We'll adjust.
Unfinished business.
It's 2 words. Disappointment. But there's room for improvement, and that's it, man. That's it.
Well, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Signing off.
Signing off, James Daniel, starting captain, striker.
And send hate to Alex Beckers and Alex Lucas Mara.
We return from half-time. Heidelberg, having been given a lot of instruction by Costa Diamantopoulos in the break on the touchline in the huddle. But for Fitzroy, the message you'd imagine would be much of the same. They were fantastic in the first half. 2 terrific goals, one from Frascalzo and an unfortunate Fatinos deflection. Sees them just keep up with Melbourne Aku in the title race. Those two on a collision course, and they will converge in a matter of weeks with one another to decide who will bear the crown. Will Aku continue it for yet another term, or might we have a new winner? Not rests on it. Not rests on the outcome. 2-0, often described as the most dangerous lead. Heidelberg will be hoping throws up a few spooks. Abdul Latif lost out to Langley, and Allen's got her up with her. Langley's got a yard all on her own, and has forced into an early save. Vonya cleared it only as far as Tanaka, who touched it on for Langley. The return was too heavy. Frascalzo happy to calm things down and reset through McClure. Right start for Heidelberg to the second half. We'd said, Tyler, in the first half that they didn't play with a lot of adventure. Do you think perhaps now they're starting to throw caution to the wind?
The 2-0 down, mate, at half-time. Like, they're going to have to start doing something now. Like, I know you ask obvious questions because you want me to give an obvious answer, but, like, the obvious answer is the obvious answer, right? At the end of the day, they're 2-0 down. They need to start shooting more. They need to put Liz under pressure. They need to be more creative going forward. Let's see if they do it, though. That's the question. That is the real question. Can they do it?
There is only one way to find the answer.
Actually, will they do it is the better question. I apologise.
The answer remains the same. If their first minute is anything to go off, it's certainly a much more vibrant approach to the second half than we saw in the first. It was rather conservative. And it did have some success hitting Fitzroy on the counter towards the back end of last season. However, that style has not transpired in the same way. Langley got a foot in ahead of McClure. Abdul Latif's got Allen to contend with. And Elizabeth Air just came across to give her a helping hand.
Yeah, you won't notice that, but Abdul Latif is the reason Liz was able to come across. She used her body very, very well. Put herself in a position where only Liz could get the ball.
Langley tried to thread her way through, and what a corner, which he took for Allen. That's a delightful shift. And a good save from Air, which McClure then hammered away.
Nice little Roberta Costa.
He knows it as well. It's
It was the smile that I get, like, only reason I said it.
Subtle smirk on the touchline.
You know, lost to Costa.
Here's McClure, who was the recipient of said delightful pass. Frascalzo, Abdul Latif, that's a tidy turn round the corner. McClure ahead of Langley. Again, Fitzroy just wanting to take the sting out of the situation. We saw it in the first half when Heidelberg had a bit of a surge. The Tigers then go into management mode of the game. And it's all about slowing it down onto their terms and winning themselves a corner at the other end.
For them, I would assume, not being in the inner sanctum anymore, that goal difference isn't going to win this league. It's going to come down to the final game of the season in their heads. They just need to get there with the least amount of injuries as possible, as Abdel Latif cannons that one off the post. Sorry, I was waiting to see if anything unfolded there. But I think the Tigers are looking to come out with every game without minimal injuries, minimal soreness, all in line for their game with Aku in round 14.
It's about getting the job done, rather than blowing teams away as Langley lashes over again.
Sorry, it's round 10, not round 14. Apologies.
Will be showstopper of the season. As Frascalzo spun and Daly watched it trickle. And thankfully watched it trickle wide of her own net from Daly's point of view. But it is really about just keeping 3 points ticking for Fitzroy. It's a change from the run-in we saw from them last season, where they hammered sides on that run home towards the title. They were relentless in their push and pursuit and fell short. So perhaps it's a change of tack this time of, we know we can blow teams away, but let's focus on winning a game where for 40 minutes we don't give them a look in.
You're exactly right. They would sit away, and Jimmy and Scott would take away what they did poorly against Aku and then sit there and go, okay, we did this poorly. Let's change this. Let's make sure that we do this right every game. So when we do play Aku, and we have to do it, we're not surprised anymore.
So Latif with a good read on Allen. Wanted to charge away. Tanaka cut it out. Alana wants to go at McClure. Langley, oh, that's a delightful touch. Tanaka had options with her, worked it on her left, and drilled one back beautifully. It's a tidy Tanaka finish into the bottom corner. And Heidelberg, who've started brighter, have half the deficit.
Great finish through the legs of McClure, just to the side of Liz. Not much that Lizzie could do about that one. That one just hits, pretty much nearly hit the side netting, but wasn't too far away at all.
Terrific from Tanaka. And Heidelberg all of a sudden have much more of a vested interest, but Frascalzo's wanting to change that. Two Tanakas can't clear it. Friscalzo still nearly winning out and then lashing out.
Yellow card.
Perhaps just the talking to on this occasion. Card not brandished. Booking not given. Langley. Emily Tanaka. Touched it over the top. Allen got around Sabre and had to be alert to clear her lines. Mibe Tanaka going to refine Sydney Allen. Tanaka cut Sabre's side ball. Had a look again. Emily Tanaka is feeling it, having got one back. Galuccio. Fitzroy perhaps just having to weather a bit of a Heidelberg storm. That's a lovely ball. Allen nodded it on for Langley and McClure held her ground.
Mate, you've already pulled it. Why are you trying to get the ball again? There, Steph.
Steph Galea is about to leave the building, which we hope does not mean anything serious or anything bad.
No, Steph should go get a scan tomorrow. The Tigers will know more in a couple of days. There's a lovely ball there from Allen, but just let it run past her. She had time.
I think that's where Heidelberg had fallen short for most of tonight. Just that first touch being more daring. Tanaka gets a great look, a really good look, to be able to drive into a dangerous spot to cause some issues, and just allowed the ball to roll beyond her, which it was a bit bizarre to see how it unfolded. And that clearance only found McClure, who steered it onto Sabre. Tanaka this time with a good intervention. McClure couldn't roll it. Emily Tanaka's touch away. Heidelberg will keep it.
McClure's been very good this game as well, by the way.
Allen wants to get away from Galuccio. Emily Tanaka's on her own, and it's 2-2. Just like that, they've got themselves level. Terrifically worked. Sydney Allen bullied her way through, and Tanaka gambled with the later run and was rewarded with an equaliser.
But we said it at half-time. Were Heidelberg going to dare to be brave, or were they going to go back into their shell? It looks like they've dared to be brave.
And all of a sudden, there's yet another twist, yet another turn in this season. Fitzroy got the better of them last time. Heidelberg searching for a point. And right now, have all the momentum. Allen again beyond Galuccio, but this time ran out of room before getting on the charge. Costa Diamantopoulos, ball in hand on the touchline. Ever an animated gaffer. Could be a restless manager. It's a heavy challenge from Friscalzo. Tanaka could be on for a hat-trick, but wasn't able to turn her away beyond Diana Friscalzo, who couldn't clear it beyond Chincotta. Just as it stands, if it stays this way, they go to the top on goal difference, but Aku would have a game in hand, which will be played up next. The yellow card for Diana Friscalzo, as well as a rolling foul.
Yeah, we asked ourselves why she didn't copy yellow on the first one. I looked to the referees to find out why. And they gave her the warning, and they said the next one of any physicality would be an accumulation of fouls, and she would receive one then. So that is her yellow card for the day. So would expect Dino to not to be so physical for the rest of the game, but we'll see if she can withhold herself from trying to chase down every ball.
Fitzroy have another side ball for Friscalzo.
You know what would be a very interesting question for our commissioner if he was around? How many yellow cards this season? Because we've now gone to a shortened season. Be very interested to see how many yellow cards it will take before a one-game suspension.
If we can get a hold of Josh Fusco, we'll let you know. Tanaka, that's a tidy touch for Allen, who squared it back Tanaka's got a hat-trick and Heidelberg have turned it around. Unbelievable. It was flowing, fabulous futsal. And Emily Tanaka's turned in thrice to flip this game and perhaps the race for the crown on its head.
Sitting there, kind of looking at Jimmy, because they were in this situation at the start of the game last week where they went down by 2 goals, not 1. And Jimmy called a timeout. After that timeout, they were a different side. So, be very interesting to see what's going to happen here in the next couple of minutes from Fitzroy. If they can come back straight away, or will Jimmy Supers need to burn his timeout yet again to get a message across?
Calzo wanting the immediate reply. Wasn't quite able to find it. Allen comes for a rest, having been ever so pivotal in that equalising goal. Cincotta gave it away to Frascalzo. He's looking to twist and turn and fired ever so close.
Very close.
Desperately wide of Daly's far post. Daly thought about long, went short for Cincotta. Frascalzo again, picked Cincotta's pocket. And this time, Daly's got a longer option. Galuccio was guarding Cincotta incredibly closely and fortuitously had it deflect off her as Fitzroy looked to fly forward. Tanaka, Cincotta wanted to steer it. Galuccio won it. Frascalzo took over. Was charging, Tanaka blocked, Daly made a great save, Sabre couldn't steer it, and Galuccio bundled it over the line. Persistence paid off. And Galuccio, who started the move and never gave up on it, was the one to finish and level.
He's not happy, Jimmy, that is. I can tell by the way his body language is. He's not happy right now, conceding those 3 goals in a row to start the second half. Obviously there's some things to work on for this side if they want to take the title away from Aku. Because right now it is Aku's title to lose.
And at the moment, again, they'd go back to the top on goal difference, but could risk being 3 adrift at the end of the night. And if it were to be that way, goal difference would then become a factor, but Tanaka's taken over. Cincotta just had to make the decision to come and clear it. Just wasn't able to take over. Frascalzo, Sabre. On for Galuccio, who's waiting on the runners left and right. Frascalzo. McDougall, it's a very good take and was hitting with considerable pace. Galuccio once again. This time clipping, Sabre got in ahead of Tanaka. Cincotta came across and made sure that it crossed over the line into touch. McDougall's side ball. Galuccio let it run. Elizabeth there. Why not? And Daly just had to be alert to it.
Spilt it. Frascalzo looks to tidy this one up for Fitzroy. No option on the far side, which he's looking for. Tries to find McDougall, but does bounce back to Sabre. Sabre's done well to hold off Tanaka. Back to Galuccio. Galuccio's going to spin, play forward, but blocked out there by Tanaka. Sabre's done well to use the body, retains the ball. Going to go down the flank. Cincotta does well again to win the ball back for Heidelberg. Now Tanaka on the ball, back to Tanaka. That one's over the head of Frascalzo and going to be chased down by Cincotta, but Lizaire comes out and clears that one away. Now Frascalzo.
Sabre wanted to steer it back on. McDougall took over. What a frantic, frantic passage. Had to go the long way round. And now Galuccio just calms everything down. Allows everybody to get settled. Frascalzo couldn't thread it for Sabre. Mibe Tanaka with a good read. Galuccio ahead of Cincotta. But that ball a fraction too heavy.
That one hurt. No, I don't. I remember why I don't like doing this. I just like doing the play-by-play. I don't like doing the play-by-play stuff.
Lovely ball from Daly. For Tinos, who was the right side of Abdul Latif. Wasn't able to keep it. McClure came to help her out. Abdul Latif now. Lost out to Cincotta.
That's why you're so good at what you do, because not everyone can do it. that play-by-play, trying to get every name right in such a short period of time with a quick movement of futsal, it's very, very hard.
Did very well on that occasion.
Very out of breath.
Then it takes over. Lost out to McClure. Fatinos in retreat. McClure's on her own, and Daly makes an ever so critical save.
Coming out, took the space away. McClure took an extra touch, which allowed Daly to close the gap even more. Well done there by Paige.
Good goalkeeping from the Heidelberg shot stopper. That one much more comfy to claim. And want to go quickly for Chincotta. Abdul Latif alert to that, but Chincotta's turned her terrifically. Fatinos was arriving, but Chincotta, her final touch was the one which was too heavy, and it ran out of play just as she was going to turn it back. Those are the fine margins.
Yeah, she had Abdul Latif beaten as well. Like, all she had to do was step her body in front of her, and she's away. She's either going to get a foul because Layla makes a mistake, or she's going to be able to get a shot away. So she had her beaten. So there's little fine margins in futsal.
It was a delightful spin as well, just to protect that space and get in behind. Fabulous play. Daly for Tinos. Ibe Tanaka made the late run to good effect, holding off Frescalzo. For Tinos. Couldn't thread it away from McClure, who picked her pocket. To shift one way then the other. Frescalzo in ahead of Tanaka. Fatinos now can drive. Chincotta the only one forward. Dropped it off for Bennett. Couldn't get around Sabre. Swiped wildly. Then ran and won it. Jimmy Sufas wants a foul. Bennett with options left and right, went alone. And only found the side netting. And that attack in itself is subject to much Fitzroy protest.
I can understand why.
That was a bit of a wild swipe.
The intent was to try and win the ball, but when you miss like that, I think a foul should be given. I think they missed that one. Just under 10 to go.
It's become quite a fascinating opener. Who wants to go and win it?
I swear that touched Abdul Latif there.
Might have taken a bobble. It is that kind of surface. Layla Abdul Latif, of course, will claim that she didn't get a foot on it.
I'd be claiming it too at this point in the game. Not many players would be saying, "Nah, I touched it."
Air goes searching, but wasn't able to find Heasley.
It hasn't worked as well as what it used to at Thomastown with Liz Air coming out and being able to play that fly keeper.
Being a bigger court as well. It means you're more of a sweeper rather than a fly keeper a lot of the time. Daly, on this occasion, gave it away to McClure. Abdul Latif took over and goes on a charge. Around two, laid it for Frescalzo. And it was one which was straight at Daly. Bennett for Tinos, nearly left it behind. Dropped it off for Tanaka. Bennett couldn't stab it beyond Abdul Latif, who now kept going on the march, took a slip and a stumble, wanted a free kick, one which she won't get. Bennett clipped it beyond Frescalzo, has Chincotta up with her, and Air makes a vital save. A lovely move from Heidelberg, and one which was ever so close to putting them back ahead.
Liz did extremely well to make that save. They're not easy, those one-on-ones, so she'll be happy with that one. She's played very well tonight. I can't sit there and say the 3 goals are on her either. It's just over 9 minutes to go now, Ethan. So, anyone's game. Heidelberg, if they can take another chance, could they take the big scalp of Fitzroy? I'm sure that's what they'll be looking for. They started the season so well and then have dropped away in recent weeks.
And it would be a sign as well, just of that rot starting to stop a little bit. Tonight is an indication of that. Regardless, here is McClure, tiptoeing her way around and winning a corner. Couple on the Heidelberg bench, a bit unsure. McClure's corner, Abdul Latif on for Heasley. Lovely, intricate play with Galuccio.
Corner.
Took a touch off Tanaka.
No, not according to the referee, it didn't, but it definitely did.
That one, in fact, maybe not called as sweetly. Allen.
Great tackle.
That's a great challenge from Galuccio, who's got McClure as the only one up with her. Tanaka telegraphed that well. And the ball to Daly is, again, just a fraction too heavy. because otherwise,
Yeah, Allen would definitely have been away on that one.
so many nearly moments, such fine margins. McClure spinning. Tanaka warding off. Chincotta got a foot on it and is in a foot race with Heasley, one to which he wins. Chincotta still going, trying to turn her way through them all. Heasley eventually got a foot in. McClure pressed by Tanaka. My break for Chincotta. And Heasley made the final touch.
Caught one in the mouth. Probably hit the mouth. Comes off. Make sure there's no blood. Has all the teeth. Swinging arms.
Tanaka will have a second look. Turned in by Allen. An inadvertent touch
Was the
from an
reason-
inadvertent second effort strike is the reason Heidelberg are back ahead. Remarkable. Absolutely remarkable.
No words. No words.
Sometimes in this game, you really have to ride your fortune. Heidelberg did and then some, but Abdul Latif is wanting to restore parity. Sabre's touch with an open net, mind you.
I'll be going to buy a lotto ticket right now.
There's an urgency to get things restarted once again.
That was one of the lucky lucky in the terms of it was the missed touch, like the missed shot, that allowed her to be able to have a shot that was in a spot that a touch could come onto it. Like, because she had the missed shot, the Fitzroy player turned their back, allowed them to be able to pass it with an open slot.
And then it's a touch in itself, which you see so many get blocked or go wide or get saved.
The finish from Allen, very classy. Like,
Excellent.
very, very beautiful. But, like, the lead up to the touch, not fantastic.
Proper poacher's finish, and Fitzroy took too long. Chincotta comes for a breather.
I'm sure Sid Allen isn't going to care how or what the lead up was as long as it went into the back of the net. I'm sure Heidelberg don't care either. But
Well, famously so. There is only one stat that matters.
it's that wins and loss column.
That is the one. And at the moment, the scoreboard does not lie. Fitzroy chasing the game. Heidelberg in this second half have been superb, to their credit so far. They just have to find a way to see it through, but Sabre spun superbly and equalised once again in a game that is toing and froing. Sabre keeps the sea soaring. Terrific finish. Really terrific finish. The spin was razor sharp. And Sabre, like her namesake, sliced through the Heidelberg defence. And they're a bit unhappy the advantage wasn't played. Costa Diamantopoulos, very, very animated about it.
They had the advantage.
Thinks there might have been an
There
advantage there,
definitely was.
and he might have had a point. There's Allen. And he's looking to spin her way forward. It's a side ball. He is absolutely livid. Side ball taken for Tanaka. Wanted to thread it for Allen. Sabre smartly across. Tried to turn her way out of trouble. Only turned into Mibe Tanaka. Bennett, that's a beauty of a ball. Allen's around one. Air came the long way round.
Did well.
And conceded a corner.
Did well. I had a free shot if Liz doesn't come out there like that.
Allen, Tanaka. Sabre nodded it. McClure got under it. Tanaka and Galuccio. And the latter's ball to Abdul Latif was again just a touch too heavy. Tanaka. Heidelberg still throwing the kitchen sink at it. Galuccio telegraphed that ball well. Sabre spun again. Had a hit and really wore one. Oh, and that looked rather nasty. Hoping Sabre's okay. She's getting back to her feet, but that was just the most uncomfy of ones to wear. Completely collateral damage. Seems to be all right. Tanaka Again wanting to turn, but Abdul Latif won out this time. Twisting and turning and getting her shot blocked. Bennett then got a boot in. Allen's got to charge at McClure. Sydney Allen went early and wasn't able to trouble air. Both of these sides not happy to settle for one each. One in their own title bid. Want to steer clear of the bottom. Intricate, tidy, and Daly read it terrifically well. Good goalkeeping. Quickly on for Bennett. Frascalzo reinstated. Galuccio picked off the pass. Sabre on for Frascalzo, and they win a corner.
End-to-end stuff at the moment. Fitzroy very much dominating for the last minute, but Heidelberg the minute before that. And it's a game of momentum at the moment.
Bennett on for Allen. That's a brilliant take. Allen had two, and now has got Tanaka arriving with her. Emily Tanaka has thrashed it in. And from a Fitzroy set piece, Heidelberg go the other end and take the lead. Emily Tanaka's got four. And again, this game turns.
Uckle in the corner would be licking their lips at this game at the moment. Fitzroy do manage to lose. Fitzroy again are relying on other teams to do their dirty work for them to have a chance at the title.
Allen now at the other end, getting in ahead of Galuccio to clear. You could not write a script for this. You really could not, and even if you did, not many would believe you at the moment. Heidelberg, who haven't won since that opening month, and Daly getting across.
Tried to protect the back post there and gave up a near. Did well seen there by Fitzroy. Daly did well to get to it in the first place. But position-wise, should never have been where she was.
Another Fitzroy corner. Galuccio, Abdul Latif had a hit, which was blocked by Tanaka. Stayed alive for Allen. Tanaka, and they might go on the break again. Couldn't thread it for Langley. Frascalzo got in ahead of her. Tanaka in the right place at the right time, as she so often has been tonight. Abdul Latif shifting onto that right foot. Tanaka blocked it. Frascalzo took over, and it ricocheted for Allen, who left it for Langley, who can now charge down the left flank. Galuccio in retreat. Langley spinning and losing balance as she went to strike.
The faintest of touches there from Sid Allen allowed that ball to go to Langley. Just little things like that change games.
It was a luscious layoff, wasn't it? Really ever so delicate from Sydney Allen. And it allowed Langley nearly to have a look. Abdul Latif might have a look at the other ends. And Daly's able to gather it without too much stress. Langley again, away from Frascalzo, and this time touching on for Allen and was collected. Galuccio cleaned her out. Allen sat her down and squared it for Tanaka. They've got breathing room. Outrageous from Heidelberg.
It's a great advantage there, by the way. Great advantage.
Galuccio in the book.
Oh, here we go. No. Lizette holding her knee at the moment.
Emily Tanaka has got a handful of goals. She has 5. Each more important than the last. Tanaka's having a night to remember. Head in hands for Jimmy Sufus and Fitzroy for the time being.
He's got plenty of time. He wouldn't be too worried at the moment.
5 to go. And it was rolling. Still, you feel Heidelberg have to be perfect.
They do. 2 mistakes and it's a draw. 3 mistakes and it's a game.
Sabre back for Frascalzo.
Yeah.
Fizzed it over.
The only thing here is Fitzroy also have to be pretty damn perfect. So that's one chance they've missed. How many chances have they got to level or win the game? Probably, what do we got? 4.5 minutes to go, just over 4.5 minutes. So let's say we'll average 1 every minute.
That's without the concession of a chance at the other end. Tanaka.
So
Couldn't turn it beyond Galuccio. So, in 4.5 minutes, you think 4 opportunities might come Fitzroy's way. Emily Tanaka takes to the bench and takes the acclaim that she deserves after the night that she's had. Friscalzo. Trying to spin beyond Mibe Tanaka. Final touch was off Diana Friscalzo. Allen, who's been pivotal. Langley split one way, Cincotta the other. Sabre slids, and to very good effect. Really had to get that perfect. Otherwise would have collected Cincotta. Langley. Cincotta, deflection off Sabre. Friscalzo wasn't able to keep it alive. All eyes turn to the clock. Cincotta tiptoed around McClure, who got an all-important toe on it. Sabre took over. Got away from Langley as well, who wanted to hold her up. Friscalzo has now got Allen to go at. Tanaka could come across. Friscalzo being shown the line and winning a corner. Tidy challenge from Sydney Allen in retreat. And Jimmy Soufas wants timeout. Inside the final 4 minutes, Heidelberg have had the second half of their dreams. And as we go to timeout, it's Fitzroy 4, Heidelberg 6. We return from timeout, right down the stretch. Fitzroy have a corner. McClure takes Sabre, spun on the strike, had a second attempt, and Daly parried, then picked it up, and immediately released Langley. Had Sabre to go around. Langley did well to keep it alive, and switched it for Cincotta deftly. Allen. Around Abdul Latif, and forcing a fabulous save out of air. Heidelberg side ball. Tanaka clipped it for Cincotta at the back post. And you can see Liz Eyre is not moving comfortably at all on that knee. Fitzroy without a backup keeper on the bench. If she were to go down, they'd have to run 5th till the finale. Eyre went searching. Sabre took superbly. Tanaka wanted to close the door. Sabre spinning, shifting, left it for Abdul Latif, who poked one back. Brilliant finish from Layla Abdul Latif. And Fitzroy are back within 1. And once again, the pendulum of this game swings on its head. Both have to be perfect. 3 minutes to the close. Chincotta ahead of Abdul Latif, touched it on for Allen, who gave it to Chincotta, and Langley, and it's a brilliant challenge from Frascalzo. What a lunge. Costa Diamantopoulos can hardly believe it. Allen, Langley, oh, lovely 1-2. Allen's got a yard, and they've got a 2-goal lead again. It's delightful. Absolutely delightful futsal. The 1-2's terrific. And the finish, given the circumstance, given the pressure, was as cool as you like. And Heidelberg have a buffer and have some breathing room once more. Abdul Latif's lost out to Langley, who went early trying to catch air out and couldn't find the finishing touch. McClure. Sabre, shifting, spinning, Daly, diligent, and gave it on to Allen, who touched it only as far as Abdul Latif. Couldn't get around Langley, and Abdul Latif gave her a drag back. Heidelberg free kick. And Abdul Latif in the book.
7-5, 2.5, and the 5th foul. Was that the buzzer for the 5th foul? It was the buzzer for the 5th foul. So Heidelberg, if they get another foul from Fitzroy, they will receive a 10-metre penalty. Heidelberg have 0 fouls at the moment.
Kept it clean. Allen's free kick was one with force.
Double punch, double fist punch up into the roof.
2.5 to go. That is how close they are. It will feel like an eternity. Allen's ball turned away to Mibe Tanaka.
I'm looking at the Aku bench, or Aku girls over in the corner.
Allen wanted Langley. McClure cut it out, and now they can charge the other way. Sabre, McClure, Abdul Latif, one back.
I'm looking at the Aku guys in the corner, and none of them can take their eyes off the game. Ruse Roslin is sitting there, and he's watching every moment because he knows if Heidelberg can pull off a win, then the title, they've basically got 2 hands on the title.
Heidelberg ever so close, but Fitzroy are finishing in a flurry. And McClure's crashed her effort wide. My word. How close can you get? 7-6, 2 to play.
Why is Tanaka not on?
Daly. Again went looking. Langley. Away from Sabre. Has Allen and Chincotta with her. Allen one more. It was slightly behind Chincotta, who then lost out to Frascalzo. Abdul Latif took over. Tanaka got a foot in. Allen spun. Not one, but 2. Allen on for Langley, and Tanaka's missed it. Fire a vital touch from air. Jimmy Sufas can't believe the foul count. Also might not be able to believe what is going on here. Chincotta. Tanaka, why not? Ooh. And they're forced there to scramble. Heidelberg now have to drop off. Sabre for McClure. Langley came to shut the door. Chincotta. That's a lovely ball to find Langley, who's got around for Frascalzo. Langley went early, and air was forced into a good palm. Heidelberg have a corner. Minute 24.
That's what you live for, huh? In futsal.
Tanaka turned it over, only just. Is this the 5 that goes to the end for Costa Diamantopoulos? Sabre. Tanaka gave her a yard and then got a block in place. McClure had Abdul Latif as to spare. Tried to get around Langley. Sabre couldn't spin Tanaka.
Emily Tanaka probably needs to go back on.
She's watching the clock with interest as well.
And I'd be probably taking Sid Allen off. because you don't need to score again, but you do need to not concede. So she's been out there for a while, probably could do a quick rest. As you can see, she's walking back, playing on Dino, but they're finding gaps in the middle. There's foul given, and that will be a 10-minute penalty.
Jimmy Soufis is incensed. And Jimmy Soufis finds himself in the book for that kind of protest. Heidelberg with a 10-metre penalty and perhaps the chance to seal this game.
Frizzy has a pretty good record at 10-minute penalties. And Sid Allen over the ball, but
Costa can't watch. Jimmy Soufis stunned into silence.
he's on a yellow. He can't say anything else. If he says anything, he's going to get sent off. And they don't have Scott Rogan next week, so.
Allen scores! Thrashes it in! And thrashes Heidelberg within 60 seconds of 3 points. And Sydney Allen
Goes into the book herself.
will take a yellow card for her troubles. Heidelberg unhappy about some of the antics.
I don't think it's really going to matter in Heidelberg's book. Like, it does not matter. They're up by 2 with 49 seconds to go.
They just have to keep all members on the court.
And Jimmy, going to be very, very quiet on his way out.
Remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. 2 down at half time. You would not have foreseen this. There's Langley. Chincotta. Frascalzo took over. Allen in retreat. It's a fabulous challenge. It is a really good tackle.
Got that one wrong there, Seb, but I had the better angle for it, to be fair.
Is there one last throw from Fitzroy? Abdul Latif, Frascalzo. Allen with another good intervention. Chincotta through the legs of Frascalzo, and Allen got a boot on it. 26 seconds. They, on that bench, can feel that they're almost there.
Oh, yeah, they're all smiles at the moment. Let's see what happens. Don't count chickens before the hatch. I've been in these Fitzroy games with the men's side that 2 goals down with 26 to go, we've scored.
Well, they've got to charge the other way. One more you feel would seal it. Chincotta around Abdul Latif. Langley, they'll have a corner, but it might not matter.
17 seconds, I can't see them doing it. I think Heidelberg will pick up the result for the season, and Fitzroy will feel very, 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 very flat leading into next week, which I believe they have the bye.
This is a real flattener for title bids.
Steph Galea getting injured, would that change the game? Like, you think of the what-ifs when you get into situations like this. Fitzroy are a very, very good team. They've shown it for the majority of the season. A blimp for them this late in the season pretty much spells a lot of disaster.
Sliding doors moment. Perhaps the sliding doors moment of the season.
Aku might celebrate this win as hard as what Heidelberg will.
Heidelberg, who had not won a game since the opening month. now hold off a title contender in quite some style.
That was brilliant, Costa. Well done.
They've waited a while. But it will be so sweet and so worth it when it comes. Heidelberg have toppled the Tigers.
1 second remains. Paige Daly's just going to throw this one, and that will be game.
The result of the week, the result perhaps of the season. Heidelberg have downed Fitzroy in a thriller. They were 2 down at the break. They were completely out of it in the first period. 8 in the second half ensures that Fitzroy are a point from the top, and Heidelberg might have just had the biggest infliction on the final season of the calendar year. Full time from Darabin's early kickoff. One of the great games finishes Fitzroy 6, Heidelberg 8.
We're the Chair Punters Div 1 Tuesdays. We should not be in Div 1, but nevertheless, we lost 8-3 today, but we're missing Alex Beckers. Send him hate. If you know who
Scalzo rolls it gently into the back of the net, past Page Daly.
Tonight, so that gap won't shrink. They could drop below 1-0. The Allen is around there, and it's a brilliant block from Sabre.
please send him hate, and that's it.
Well, that's exactly right, James. Going on with that. Our gaffer, we've had a gaffer, for the whole team, and then he hasn't rocked up. Last 2 weeks, Lucas Smarra, you know who you are. You better sleep with one eye open tonight because we're coming for you, mate. You better sleep with one eye open, Lucas Smarra. You know who you are.
I brought the boys over. We're all former NPL players. If State League want to sign us, we thought we'd take our talents to futsalers, and
Well, that's exactly right.
it's absolutely fantastic. And the place is an institution, so we thought we might as well. And that's that.
That's exactly right, James. That's it. It's not hard, it's just that we're struggling to find our feet. I think the lack of fitness is really affecting our team. Joining halfway through the season wasn't most ideal, but you know what? We've come across a couple wins and we're doing decent within the team. There's a lot of politics within the team and problems here and there. When when you got families paying 7, 8, 9 grand, it's not on. But yeah, well, that's exactly right.
Well, for Social League Div 1, we thought this would be all right, but it's a much higher standard than we thought, and we're not quite equipped for it, but we're working on that.
Yeah, we definitely are.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're improving the arsenal, and we'll get there. We'll get there day by day. We'll adjust.
Unfinished business.
It's 2 words. Disappointment. But there's room for improvement, and that's it, man. That's it.
Well, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
We're signing off.
Signing off, James Daniel, starting captain, strikers.
And send hate to Alex Beckers and Lucas Mara.
Welcome to Sunday's final instalment, and what an upset. What a start we had to the night in the game just gone. If you have just joined us, Heidelberg pulled off one of the shocks of the season. They defeated Fitzroy 8-6 and have thrown the title race right into disarray, and it gives the advantage to Melbourne Aku, who, if they are to beat Eastern 1-0 tonight, go 4 points clear at the top of the table on the push for a third straight league championship. Destiny beckons for QEMU's side. Hardly ever do you see a team win a hat-trick of titles, and Sophie Williams is off to a fast start. Her shot cleared back to her. Allerton. One for Sienna Fogarty. Switch for Williams once more. Aku, methodical. Good read from Demazi. Bomford was interested for a second. Verratti played it to Salah. Now McCaffrey, who skipped away from Bomford tidily. Demazi. Around Allerton. Had Salah arriving. Verratti dropped it off for her. And Bomford got a foot in. The last time these two teams met, Aku were frustrated by 1-0 right until the very last stages of the first half, where they scored twice. But tonight, you feel as though with more on the line, there would be a far more imperious performance beckoning. Demazi, Salah, lovely 1-2. Demazi away from Allerton, ahead of Fogarty. Salah's got a yard, shifting away from one. Demazi stayed down. Found the palms of Aisha Attic, who just wanted to make sure Demazi was okay before finding Bomford, whose touch is delightful for Allerton to hit the post. Williams on the rebound, has steered it under McCaffrey and in. Aku take the lead, and it's a wondrous Williams hit before finding Bomford, who steered with certainty from the Kiwi, who gets Melbourne Aku marching right in the direction they want to be. A stroke of misfortune for 1-0. Compounded by Claudia Demazi, having to take a breather already. Down with an injury and moving a bit gingerly. It's Williams. It's back for Attic. Smashed it for Bomford. Good foot in from Verratti. Salah then took over. McCaffrey. Away from Allerton for Verratti. Scott Nicker, they tried to get intricate. Bomford then won it back. And poked it all the way through to Selena Danilis, who wants to go quickly. Salah. Tidy touch. Scott Nicker couldn't make the second work. Williams, Bomford. Aku hitting a real rhythm. Sienna Fogarty. Lovely ball to find Allerton, whose touch was heavy. Salah then took over. Scott Nicker's return was a fraction too heavy for her too, and it finds touch. Williams. On for Allerton. After just turning the screw for a second, Salah got in the way. Made sure that the ball was cut out. Fogarty in retreat. Nearly picked her pocket. McCaffrey then took over. Was surrounded by Violet. Went back to Danilis. Scott Nicker with the tidy touch. And then just scanned ahead. McCaffrey. Fogarty. Clipped it into her own hand. Verratti. Scott Nicker. Williams thought it had gone. Scott Nicker kept the move going. Salah. McCaffrey, lovely ball to find Scott Nicker. On for Verratti. Tidy return down the line. Worth mentioning, of course, no Danielle Bradley in between the sticks for Melbourne Aku this evening. Called up for international duty with New Zealand as they take on Brazil. Scott Nicker again wanting the turn. Williams just shutting the door. Fast-paced start for both of these sides, who are wanting to throw it all at one another. 1-0 will see the result of the earlier kickoff and think, well, if Heidelberg can do it, so can we. We'll take an almighty effort as McCaffrey crashes her effort into the side, netting. Sienna Fogarty. Williams had advanced. Fogarty couldn't thread it. And now Salah has been played through. Attic's made a great save. And Fogarty's there to mop it up. Driving the other way. Scott Nicker made the intervention. McCaffrey. And Williams with a tidy read. Allerton. Bomford. Delightfully around one. Supremely around the second. And Verratti had to bundle her down, and for it will find herself in the book. Couple of protests about that being the first of the evening. If it's with enough force, it can be a yellow card, as was brandished. Fogarty from the free kick. Danilis sprawled. Ricocheted out to Allerton. Went in for Bomford. Scott Nicker with a tidy read. Verratti, who had just been booked, poked it through precisely. Scott Nicker steered it to Salah, who tiptoed away from Allerton and breezed beyond Bomford. But Fogarty was in the way to prevent what would have been a wonderful goal. Williams, it's a tidy turn. McCaffrey kept up with her. McCaffrey still twisting and turning and doing so into touch. Williams giveaway. Salah. Scott Nicker up with her. Again wanted the 1-2, but the return was a fraction too heavy for her to get on the end of. Fogarty. 1 too heavy for Williams. Miata prepping herself. A really, really stacked bench for QEMU's side tonight. Rebecca, the backup keeper. Yamashita, Giuliani as well. A lot of defensive options. Salah, twist and turn. McCaffrey nearly showed too much of it to Allerton, who was clipping at the heels. Bomford nearly took over. Verratti got in the nick of time. And now McCaffrey can charge and Fogarty can block. Scott Nicker shifting. McCaffrey forces a calm catch out of Aisha Attic. Was travelling towards the top corner. Had to make the intervention. Oh, it's a lovely spin from Scott Nicker. On for McCaffrey via Williams, and Attic scrambled across at the expense of a corner. It's been a good response from 1-0. Find themselves 1 down early. Then clawing away for an equaliser. McCaffrey within range and dragged her shot just wide via a deflection. String of corners. McCaffrey. Salah, lovely shift, lovely strike. And a fabulous save from Attic, who got across. Such a deft swivel from Salah. It's 1-0 again. Just look to make things happen. Chasing the game early. Costa Frutis aware of that. Miata. Lovely ball, and Danilis came flying out to put Yamashita off it. Verratti with a good foot in. McCaffrey, cut out by Fogarty, who's on the march, wanting to roll her way forward, and Sophie McCaffrey stayed with her the whole way to make the block. Good intervention again. Yamashita. Waiting on one of the options. Yamashita was the only one available to her. Miata. Lovely move. Fogarty. Miata's all on her own and stolen at the back stick to make it 2. Lovely move from Melbourne Aku. Miata started it and finished it. Aquino at the heart as well. And the reigning champions, who know tonight is a night where they can take a big stride towards a 3rd straight title, have got themselves in a very, very prominent position. As is mentioned, and as has been shown, 2-0 can be a dangerous one. But Melbourne Aku are moving imperiously away from Fitzroy at the moment. Yamashita. Akina took over. Stung the palms of Danilis, who then gathered it. Salah. And for the flick on. Taylor Halabi wasn't able to find her. Caffrey came across. Yamashita. Just happy to cool things all the way down. Miata. He went looking for Gugliani, and Danilis read it best. Salah. Around Yamashita, that's a lovely ball and a terrific take from Alapi, whose second touch was the one which invited Attic to go and claim it. Gugliani charging the other way. McCaffrey with a good read, and now it's 3-on-1. Verratti had Halabi with her, and they tried to walk it in and fluff their lines as a result. A real look for 1-0 to get themselves back in the game. And to halve the deficit. It was a golden chance. One which they might not be presented with again, with such a flood forward. There was a sea of blue that nearly washed Aku away. Yamashita. McCaffrey cut it out well. And then went on the charge. Yamashita's challenge a good one. Miata then took over. Not beyond Halabi, who was battling. Yamashita back on her feet. Miata couldn't steer it through. And Gugliani sees it back to Attic and then gets it back off her. Miata just peeling. Yamashita, the option on the switch. Goes for Miata. Trying to poke it towards Aquino, and Danilis nearly spilled it invitingly. A full stretch on the second attempt. Verratti put under pressure from Yamashita, and again it finds its way back with the keeper, who's gone searching. Salah with a flick on. Wasn't able to find anybody. Aku in control. McCaffrey with a good read. Lovely turn on to Halabi, who had Salah on the switch. Yamashita is pressing her hard, and Aquino has now got room to go into. Verratti there to shut the door, and did so diligently. Gugliani took over and will let it trickle out of play. Miata. Oh, it's a delightful ball for Aquino, whose first effort was blocked by Verratti. Kept the move alive, wanted to steer it centrally. McCaffrey couldn't clear her lines, and in the end conceded a corner. Aquino out for Miata. Threaded it for Yamashita. McCaffrey read it well. Had no options further forward. Miata to reload. Aquino. Yamashita. Aku taking their time. Looked to thread it for Gugliani, who couldn't get a poke. It was just a fraction ahead of her. She couldn't quite steal in ahead of Danilis. Yamashita with a good read. Gugliani up beyond Verratti. Dropped it off for Yamashita again, who wanted Miata. Salah got a touch to take the sting out of it and allow McCaffrey to drive, and Attic forced into the save. Gugliani blocks the second effort. Miata spinning, pirouetting, and running out of play. Well, no, wanting to restart things immediately. Verratti. Monica Fanua. Introduced for the first time tonight. Yamashita. Gugliani. Couldn't get away from that battle with Halabi. Back for Yamashita. Tidy touch on for Gugliani, who made it out for Miata, who'd gone a fraction too early. Tidy touch over the top. Nearly invited Salah to come onto it, but Gugliani got across quickly. Eastern 1-0 just probing. Trying to find a way back into the game, although Aquino's done wonderfully, and Danilis sprawled quickly to make the save. Just to deny Aquino, who was surging forward. Corner quickly. On for Yamashita. Aquino. Tiptoed around Verratti and steered it away of a grappling Danilis. Miata kept going and spun and turned it in for 3. Aku relentless, persistent, and now pounding away with a 4-point lead at the top of the table as it stands. What started as a shuffle is becoming a sprint. And the reigning champions looking to make good on a golden opportunity. Aquino again. Lovely switch for Miata, who's twisting and turning, and Danilis makes the save, not once, but twice, and they have a corner. Either side yet to call a timeout. Yamashita. Halabi got a foot in. Just as she tiptoed around Andriopoulos. Andriopoulos again not able to beat Yamashita. Just slowing the game down. Final 4 minutes to half time. Verratti. This time it's Aquino's chance to come across. Tidy 1-2. Andriopoulos tried to steal a yard, wanted Fanua, but only found Miata, who's going on a march all on her own for Aquino, and Danilis makes a fabulous stop. Miata with amazing run. Split the defence open. Corner taken quickly for Yamashita. Miata again twisting, spinning, turning. And this time went the Trivella, but wasn't able to get much curl on it. Halabi's flick on. That's the lot of Andriopoulos. Attic will let it trickle out of play. Well, this first half has been quite free-flowing for the most part. It's just become a bit stop-starty. Aku wanting to take the sting out of the situation before the break. That's a beauty of a ball from Allerton. Aquino's touch was deft. The turn was terrific, as was the save from Danilis. Brilliant stop. Aquino just worked a yard for herself so wonderfully. As Williams comes back on, and Allerton gets under one. It's been a very imperious display so far from Melbourne Aku. Haven't really given 1-0 much of a glimpse. Alabi might have hit the railing. Andriopoulos has lost it, and Aquino is all on her own, sat Andriopoulos down, but wasn't able to lift it over Danilis. Fanua wants to go the other way. Verratti down the line, Halabi. Verratti got under it, and Attic was alert to the danger. On for Williams. Happy to calm things down. Allerton. Went back for Sophie Williams, who's got Andriopoulos to go at. Williams went early and had her effort fly just wide. 2 on the dot to the break. Neither side issued a timeout. Neither often do, unless absolutely necessary, as Danilis makes another good save. Fanua wanted to steer it for Andriopoulos, who has got pace, but again, it asked a lot of her. Must wonder what both managers would be thinking now, coming to half-time. Kirimi would be thinking more of the same. Costa Frutis would be looking at earlier and thinking, all right, how can we change this up? Giuliani. Cut out by Halabi. Got it back from Verratti. Down the line for Andriopoulos. It's a lovely turn away from Bomford. Halabi. Now gets it from Verratti. Down the line for Fanua. Tried the tidy return. Giuliani and Allerton were alert to it. Giuliani wanted to keep it going, wasn't able to. Halabi. Andriopoulos lost out to Williams, and Bomford might go on the break for one before the break. Forced back well. It's terrific defending once again. Fogarty went long. Halabi with the tidy take. Got around Allerton, but found touch. Williams. On for Allerton. Thought about the shot. Took two to steal it. Bomford might nearly get herself in behind. But Danilis quickly off her line for the final bit of first half action. And so far for Melbourne Aku, it is so good. As it stands, they go 4 points clear. 1-0 have been diligent, 1-0 have tried, 1-0 have knocked on the door, but so far have been unable to find a way through. Half time in Darebin. 1-0 nil. Melbourne Aku 3.
We're the Chair Punters Div 1 Tuesdays. We should not be in Div 1, but nevertheless, we lost 8-3 today, but we're missing Alex Beckers. Send him hate. If you know who he is, please send him hate, and that's it.
Well, that's exactly right, James. Going on with that. Our gaffer, we've had a gaffer, for the whole team, and then he hasn't rocked up. Last 2 weeks, Lucas Smarra, you know who you are. You better sleep with one eye open tonight because we're coming for you, mate. You better sleep with one eye open, Lucas Smarra. You know who you are.
I brought the boys over, and we're all former NPL players. If State League want to sign us, we thought we'd take our talents to Futsal, and
Well, that's exactly right.
it's absolutely fantastic. And the place is an institution, so we thought we might as well. And that's that.
That's exactly right, James. That's it. It's not hard. It's just that we're struggling to find out.
We return from half-time for the final time. Melbourne Aku are in an imperious position. 3 up against 1-0. They were truly terrific in that first period. Switch the goalkeepers out. Aisha Attic has a clean sheet to her name for the time being. Rebecca Yee finds her way in between the sticks. And as it stands, the reigning champions will go 4 points clear at the top of the tree. And will make good on Fitzroy's drop points in the game beforehand. Fogarty. It's a charge at Dimarzi. Left it off for Williams. Bomford. They want a fast start to the second half. Andriopoulos made the intervention. Verratti. Dimarzi, who's recovered from the knock she took in the first period. Andriopoulos again, whose touch was loose. Bomford. And he barged their way through. But Fanua saw it out. All the way back for Danilis. Dimarzi, who had a loose touch. Fogarty went to thread it through for Bomford. Williams on the far side might make the most of it, and she does by winning a corner. Sophie Williams take. Fogarty with fizz. Flashed it over the top. Verratti. Andriopoulos, her and Dimarzi nearly have it coming together. But Dimarzi twisting, turning. Recycled it with Verratti. Fanua was the other option. 1-0, just trying to calm things down. QEMU wants the press. That's a lovely ball to find Dimarzi, who couldn't flick it beyond Allerton. Wanted Bomford, broke for Fogarty. Allerton once more. Fogarty. Williams had dropped in. Allerton. Via a deflection found Bomford, who went down the line for Williams. On the return, it's wonderful futsal, and it's turned just wide. It was a delightful move. One which deserved the finish, and it just wasn't able to be diverted into the net. They go again. Wave after wave of purple rain, and Williams is on the end of it this time. Danilis makes the save, and Allerton across to stop Andriopoulos. One just holding in, having to survive an early storm to start the second half. McCaffrey gave it away to Williams, who had options either side. Bomford was one of them. Danilis made another great save. Bomford battling. Still can't quite find a way through. Fogarty. Set it back for Allerton. Fogarty within range. Danilis got down to make the save, and it's a lovely turn for Andriopoulos, who's got Dimarzi up with her, went alone, and Fogarty telegraphed it well and came across to clear our lines. Andriopoulos set it back for Verratti. Now McCaffrey. Dimarzi. McCaffrey once again. Verratti. Hustle by Williams. Tried to wriggle her way through. Andriopoulos couldn't spin Fogarty. Bomford. Williams. Oh, it's lovely. It's a terrific turn from Sophie Williams. Fogarty wanted the 1-2. Williams got on the end of it, and Danilis made a brilliant save. Allerton recycled it to Bomford. Can they come marching forward? Melbourne Aku. Allerton. Williams. Tidy return, and Allerton steered it over the bar this time. They are knocking on the door for a fourth. And 1-0 at the moment. Are hanging on by a thread. It really, really is. Melbourne Aku playing some of their best stuff at the moment. Certainly shifting towards top gear. Bomford allowed to carry. Might nearly be within range. Tried to thread it for Fogarty. Williams was down the line. Deflected to Andriopoulos, who's got room to charge into. Bomford quickly across. And they've just been so good at holding up. Anytime 1-0 have looked to go forward, any of their possible live wires. By slowing the game down, it creates that uncertainty of a side who you can see want to move the ball quickly. It forces them to force it, regardless of whether they were chasing the game or not. And that methodical approach is what makes Melbourne Aku so hard to play against. It's an incredibly tidy system of futsal. Fogarty made the cutout. Dropped it off for Bomford, who went with Loft this time. Fogarty nearly kept it alive terrifically. But while playing keepy up, he's ran out of room. Dennis went driving. Salah, it's a lovely take, wants to spin Williams. Allerton came across, and Aku win it back. Williams wants to go quickly, couple of changes made. Bomford and Allerton have a breather. Yamashita and Miyata back into it. Miyata found immediately, and turning tidily, shifting, and striking just wide. Miyata just moves so smoothly. Instantly wants to go and face, which is what makes her such a threat, always making defenders on the back foot. It's ever so an important piece to the puzzle for this side. Danilis, who has had a lot to do tonight and has done a lot of it rather well. Miyata this time was not far away from something spectacular. Couple of Aku shouts for a corner. Fall on deaf ears. Danilis, Yamashita, one for Miyata. Okay, Fogarty wants a chase. And she just about kept it alive. Miyata. This time not beyond Salah, and Damazi is gallivanting forward with her. Salah shifted beyond Miyata. Waited on the runners. McCaffrey was one who it was set back for. And she steered her effort over the bar. Perhaps some words of advice and encouragement being dealt to Selena Danilis as she's given something to do, and Fogarty, who got inventive, found Danilis, who goes long again for Damazi. Damazi wasn't able to trap it, and it trickles out of play. Aquino alert to the ball from McCaffrey. Damazi, not around Giuliani. McCaffrey, Damazi through the legs of Giuliani, but Yamashita will see it out. Very delicate start to the second half for both of these sides. And where the futsal flowed freely in the first 20, it hasn't done so as much to start this second period. Aku certainly the ones turning the screw. Bomford, tidy return for Miyata. In fact, it was Aquino, my apologies. McCaffrey, Salah. Shifted it on to Damazi. And down the line for McCaffrey, but it was a fraction too heavy for her. Giuliani gets things going once more. And they go searching, but can't quite thread the ball through. Salah wanting to shift away. Dropped it off for McCaffrey. We've got around Aquino. Via Giuliani's touch. Yi made one save, then a second. Both were brilliant. Yamashita now carries. Aquino's on the switch. Giuliani given room to drive. Away from Damazi. On for Miyata. It's a lovely counter, and Aquino couldn't turn it in. Kept the move alive. Foot in from Verratti. On again by Salah. Miyata recycled it. Aquino, and Demazi this time puts a challenge in. Giuliani lost out, Verratti. Lovely spin and run from Salah. And Yamashita blocked McCaffrey's advance. Search for Salah, who has been quite isolated at the start of this second half. Miata. Giuliani. Lovely ball into Aquino. Demazi was on her. And Verratti was fouled, and Demazi was not best pleased about it. And Claudia Demazi finds herself in the book for that. And Claudia Demazi still arguing the case, and this may be a final warning. Understandably a rather fiery character, however, it didn't seem overly malicious. And Demazi perhaps unnecessarily finds herself in the book. Verratti's free kick, that's a lovely find for Salah. And Miata was a bit overzealous. Those two sorted out a bit more amicably. Danilis up for the free kick. Does she fancy a go? Well within range. Aquino just told to watch Demazi's movement. Danilis did have a hit and wasn't far away. Becky on for Giuliani. Yamashita. It's a good challenge from Verratti, who was coming across. Just under a quarter of an hour to go. Melbourne Aku marching on. Miata. Twisting, turning. Demazi lunged in to good effect. Taken quickly for Yamashita, who was urged to hit it and thrashed it in. It's an absolute belter. Thumped into the back of the net. Danilis a spectator. Yamashita picks out the top corner in style. It's a blistering finish. And now Aquino fancies another. Danilis made the save. McCaffrey, ever so cool under pressure. Scott Nicker on for Verratti, and they couldn't find Salah. What a thumping hit that was. A terrific strike. Up there with the best we'll see this week as Rebecca Yee rattles the railing. McCaffrey wanted Salah. Yamashita got a foot in. Miata then took over. Giuliani just peeled away again. Been allowed to make those runs to the inside. So often you see an overlap that gets made in that situation, but Giuliani's gone inverted a lot in this second half. Started out wide and really stretched the cord and then looked to move in. The thinking perhaps might be that it opens up space for a late runner elsewhere. Could be the ball player. Could be Aquino if she spins off. It's just keeping that door open in case they need an out avenue. Aquino with a good take. Verratti went to her. Giuliani took over. Danilis made the save, and Verratti did well to prevent the corner. Danilis wanted to get going again. Salah. Come on, they'll find themselves a goal to blemish the clean sheet. It's a good challenge from Yamashita. Salah, 1-2 with Scott Nicker. Back for Verratti. McCaffrey. Deft turn from Scott Nicker, and Giuliani brought her down. will be a free kick and a yellow card. Well, they'll have a free kick. Perhaps an opportunity to grab themselves a goal back. Wall set in place. Salah on option, Verratti another. McCaffrey right further out, but within firing range if it's laid off. Skotnica had to hit herself and the wall did its job. Worn well by Miata, who grimaced as it was thundered into her. They're just starting to push a little bit harder. Verratti. Yamashita again stood her up well. Aku managing the game. He might have fallen into a lull. And Aquino's on the charge. Tried to thread it for Miata. McCaffrey got a foot on it. Skotnica then took over and spun superbly. Still twisting and turning, and out of pocket picked by Aquino, who's got Miata up with her, rolled it in, and it's 5. 5-star Aku Futsal from start to finish. The move was marvellous. And Miata has a hat-trick. Terrifically taken each one. The first perhaps maybe a bit more robust than she would have liked, but the two after was silky, was smooth, and was certain. That third one in particular rounded out. A fabulous move, and they're in the mood for more. Aquino, Giuliani is marching and fires in another 2 in a minute. Terrifically done. 1-0, one timeout. A quick fire double concession, and it's one that will force them into that timeout. Brilliantly done. Aku have 6 and are flying. As we get a timeout in Darabin. It's 1-0. Melbourne Aku 6.
Feet. I think the lack of fitness is really affecting our team. Joining halfway through the season wasn't most ideal, but you know what? We've come across a couple wins, and we're doing decent within the team. You know, there's a lot of politics within the team and problems here and there. And you know, when you got families paying 7, 8, 9 grand, it's not on. But yeah, well, that's exactly right.
Well, you know, for Social League Div 1, we thought this would be all right, but it's a much higher standard than we thought, and we're not quite equipped for it. But we're working on that.
Yeah, we definitely are.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're improving the arsenal, and we'll get there. We'll get there day by day. We'll adjust.
Unfinished business.
It's 2 words. Disappointment. But there's room for improvement, and that's it, man. That's it.
Well, that's exactly right.
Signing off.
Signing off. James Daniel, starting captain, striker.
Yeah, and send hate to Alex Beckers and Lucas Mara.
We return from timeout. 1-0, forced into that stoppage. They are 6-0 down against the Melbourne Aku side, who are running riot. They've truly been rampant from start to finish so far this evening, and are looking to really stretch their legs now at the top of the tree. Fogarty got it from Williams. Laid it back for the skipper. Sophie Williams with a smashing ball for Fogarty, and Danilis had to get down to save. Salah spun it through for Skotnica. Rebecca Yee came quickly off her line and saw it out for the keeper's ball. Williams wants to get things moving. Allerton. Shifted away from Skotnicker, stabbed it across for Bomford, who wasn't able to get a final touch on it. Devilish ball across. The one where Allerton just wasn't able to take a little bit off it to allow Bomford to steal in. But it's a brilliantly worked move again. Skotnicker. Allerton picked her pocket, had Fogarty up with her. Allerton then went through the legs. Halabi mopped up, as did Fanua. Salah. Away from Williams, tried to stab it on the switch, but the door was shut just as she went to. Fogarty. Off for Williams once again. Away from Skotnicker with so much ease. Allerton with a heavier touch. Again, there's a tussle and a tangle. Skotnicker comes away with it. Chopped it off for Halabi. Fanua. 1-0 just trying to slow the game down. It's a fabulous ball hit with fizz for Salah. Wanted to steer it on the switch. Williams got a foot in, not once but twice, and won it back. Bomford then stumbled. And was collateral damage on Halabi's tumble. Allerton's on her own in the meantime, and Danilis makes a super save down low. Another Aku corner. Just making sure the well-being of everybody's being checked on. All seems to be okay. Fogarty. Left it for Williams to take from the side ball. Fogarty again. Williams kept it alive, whether she meant to or not, and then won a corner. Continue an ever so long run. Aku have lost once in a season and a half. Lost to Western United on the final day of season 1 in 2025. I'm sure it would be a source of great frustration. But the invincible campaign at the moment is still on. Allerton picked it off away of Halabi. Fanua came in too. Salah then picked it off and took over. Away from Allerton. Forced back to Halabi. He gave too much of it to Allerton. He tried to bundle her way through too. Just wasn't quite able to. Interventions being made, doors being shut just at the right time. Danilis again searched long. Skotnicker with a tidy take and then couldn't quite sort her feet out. Bomford took over, driving at Salah, but her second touch was too heavy. That meant that the door was allowed to be closed with some ease. It's a real feature of 1-0's game tonight. They've gone long on many an occasion. It's been a very direct style of build-up. One which hasn't come to fruition. It does work for them some weeks. However, against the reigning champions, it's been an evening to forget. Allerton, Williams made the most of that. He was hit with serious pace. Very stop-starty second half, it has to be said. Two contrasts. Aku perhaps just in management mode, knowing that they would be allowed some breathing room. That's a fabulous flick from Skotnicker, who steered it on to Salah. One more for Halabi, and Rebecca Yee got down to make a good save. Just a brilliant touch over the top. Kick-started a counter. One which 1-0, we're unlucky not to finish. Halabi. Fanua. Skotnicker. Waiting on the options, trying to shift away from some. Salah. Not beyond Bomford. When threading it down the line to Fanua, only found touch. It's an eager look at the clock from QEMU. Perhaps a timeout pending. 1-0 of exercise theirs. Williams on the hits with real pace, and it found Fogarty at the back stick, whether it meant to or not. Another close look. Scott Nicker on for Salah, who's around Allerton, and wins a corner. Allerton recovered well in the nick of time. Just as the shot was about to be played. Salah's take cut out by Fogarty, who's twisting, tiptoeing her way through. Away from one, and beautifully on for Bomford, whose header had little sting for Danilis, who's gone on an adventure. Fogarty has an open net, tried to roll it for Bomford. Fanua came across the clear and tested the touch of QEMU on the touchline. Bomford. Spin away forward, had to restart with Fogarty. Now down the line for Williams. It's a beauty of a ball for Allerton. Fanua made a good challenge. Fogarty from the side ball, took a deflection. Again, it trickled out. It's been wave after wave of Aku advancements forward. Bomford stepped Scott Nicker superbly. Wriggled away around one, but not around two. And 1-0 again, just getting a foot in at the right time. However, that one given away to Allerton, who's lashed it wide. Ever so close to adding another. It would have been a brilliantly taken finish, improvised, but smashed in with force. Salah. Halabi, lovely ball to find Fanua. And Scott Nicker got under it, couldn't steer it goalward. One 0 could still look for a way. To blemish an Aku clean sheet. Perhaps it would be quite the way to do it. Williams went low, and Danilis got across to a near post. Another Melbourne Aku corner. Miata, Yamashita both getting themselves ready. Allerton rolled in, and rolled out of play. Williams to take quickly, Bomford stole a yard. And couldn't quite apply the finishing touch. Danilis went searching and went too long for anybody. And that change will now be made, a double swap. Bomford and Allerton take to the bench. Bomford sporting a Luis Suarez-esque hand tape. But isn't for an injury. Miata side ball. Back for Williams, it was devilishly hit, and Yamashita rolled it in. On the spin, steering home, and Melbourne Aku are in seventh heaven. Swept in out of the far post. Took a couple of deflections, but it just sat there ever so invitingly for Yamashita to score. She now has two. One absolute corker and one true poacher's effort. That's a lovely ball to find Miata, whose touch, perhaps for the first time tonight, lets her down. Scott Nicker recycles through to Danilis. Kino was on the press. Salah, tidy roll off. Miata crowded it out with a hand from Yamashita too, battling with Scott Nicker. Wasn't able to win on that occasion. Halabi ran out of room. Haven't been allowed to play tonight at all, 1-0. It's been a really suffocating performance from Melbourne Aku. And they're not done yet. Miata with a delightful lay. And Aquino's effort was blocked. Salah, Halabi, cut out by Aquino again. Fanua, Salah, It's a tidy spin away from Fogarty. Just kept a yard on herself. Recycled it through Skopnicker. Kino came on the press. And Fanua couldn't quite flick it round the corner. Fogarty. For Yamashita. Again, Melbourne Aku just playing patient futsal. Fogarty went for range. And Danilis thought she could catch out Rebecca Yee. Didn't have an option further forward. Aisha Attic questioning why that was the decision that Danilis made. Aquino tiptoed around. Giuliani, it fell to her fortuitously. Fanua got a foot in. Salah away from Yamashita, and she's got it back from Halabi, and Rebecca Yee has made a brilliant stop. Giuliani can pick up. Wanted to guide it for Aquino. Fanua took over. Halabi, Fanua, Yamashita again in the way. Aquino now at the other end. Skopnicker on the block. Aquino kept it rolling. Halabi took over. Aquino's been in the walls a bit and wins a free kick. Aku free kick. Time ticking down inside the final 5. On the night where they've been dominant. Aquino had a hit and Danilis got behind it. Miata with the cheekiest of chips. Oh, that's glorious. What a beautiful goal. Just how good is that? The cheek, the weight, and the delivery is something so wonderful. An absolutely brilliant goal, and that might be the pick of the bunch. Wonderful. You run out of words sometimes. Superlatives don't do it justice. Miata having scored the most breathtaking of goals has now been cleaned out. Just how good is that? Sums up the night for Melbourne Aku. Anything they've tried has come off. And they're not done yet. Aquino wasn't able to spin Fanua. Miata again clipping at the heels. Fanua had Giuliani up with her. And she fizzed the effort wide of the face. Danilis would have been beaten, merely a spectator. Some people in the production team have just seen that chip. Their reaction is far more robust than mine, let's say. Aquino, Miata, Yamashita on the charge. Aquino wanted the return, McCaffrey got in the way. Yamashita, Miata, couldn't fancy another, could she? Went to roll it back for Yamashita. Halabi got a foot in. Danilis. It's taken the imagination of everybody, that goal. Miata. Went to flick it on for Aquino. Miata again got in the way. It's truly the stuff of dreams. It's outrageously good. And Aku have perhaps got the cherry on top of the sweetest of evenings. Yamashita stepped away from McCaffrey. It's cut up by Halabi. Left it on for Andriopoulos, who's going on the charge. Can 1-0 perhaps take one with them? McCaffrey with a tidy take, and Yamashita came across. Fanua, McCaffrey, twisting, turning. Set it back for Andriopoulos, who lost out to Aquino. Halabi Goes home to Danilis. Andriopoulos. Can't use the keeper. Went through the legs of Miata, which allowed Yamashita to take over. Aquino stepping and lashing her effort wide. Danilis went long, found Fanua. Andriopoulos gave it away to Aquino, who's all on her own and rolls in rampantly. Yet another for Aku, who have hit 9. Of the very best tonight as well. Terrific futsal. 1-0 have not been able to get near them. And on a night where they had to capitalise, they've done that and then some, and Miata's on the march and winning a free kick. Giuliani just peeled away. Miata did 2. Yamashita an option. Aquino might fancy this, you know. Aquino's free kick. Danilis did well. The second effort was blocked. Miata is twisting and turning. Fanua unable to clear it. Giuliani still on the press, and it's thumped away eventually by Andriopoulos, and one which nearly released McCaffrey. Miata. What a night she's had. Scored one of the goals of the season. And here she is again, as did Yamashita. Miata. Aquino. Around the corner for Giuliani, who ran out of room. Fanua. And again, Giuliani quickly across. Danilis. Andriopoulos lost out to Yamashita. Fanua, Halabi, Andriopoulos. That's a lovely clip in behind, and Halabi is all on her own. Rebecca Yee parries. Miata poked it away for Yamashita to march onto. McCaffrey in retreat. And no one was there for the clip, and a double change made again. Allerton and Bomford reinstated. Both Miata and Yamashita taking the plaudits of everyone on the bench. Richly deserved after the nights they've had. McCaffrey, not beyond Bomford, pokes it through to Andriopoulos, who had a loose touch. Allerton's hot on her heels. Halabi nearly lost out to Allerton. Fanua, back for Halabi. Andriopoulos couldn't get it under, and Bomford picked it back up. Allerton. And for Giuliani. As Allerton on the recycle. Bomford peeled away! And it was an inviting ball to find her. Just didn't have the acrobatic finishing touch it required. Went for a scorpion. Wasn't quite able. Giuliani puts a foot in. Inside the final minute of a night where perhaps the title race was thrown right in the disarray. Fitzroy defeated. Aku, knowing what they had to do, have done it and then some. Fanua, McCaffrey, Allerton got a foot in. Giuliani in retreat, made an important challenge. Bomford. And down the line for Aquino. Can they take double digits with them? Andriopoulos did well. And won it back for 1-0. They've had an evening to forget. Danilis. Halabi can't flick it on to anybody but Rebecca Yee. Bomford. Slowing the game right down. Aquino. Bomford once more. Final seconds as Melbourne Acu just take their time, understanding that they will be 4 clear at the summit with some breathing room up ahead. Bomford, Allerton, have they got one more for the road? Andriopoulos for Newer, ahead of McCaffrey. The job is done. The race has been flown wide open. An opening given, and Acu accepted it in the way they only know how to. 4 clear at the top of the tree with a gap to those behind them now. Melbourne Acu round out Sunday in supreme fashion. As full time in Darebin, it's 1-0. Melbourne Acu 8.